The Monica Makes It Happen podcast is proudly supported by Ponce Bank.
Welcome to the Monica Makes It Happen podcast. I'm your host, Monica Morales, and today, I can't believe she's with us. An incredible story of a woman whose voice has shaped New York news and the neighborhoods for decades. Okay, I want to be her when I grow up. It's too hard, though, I think. And we have to thank Ponce Bank for always supporting us and telling these incredible stories, especially about women. She's a force in local journalism, a champion for our communities, a trailblazing publisher, a mom who turned personal heartbreak into purpose. Vicki, is all of this making sense?
I'm so happy to see you, Monica. I love you, and I just respect all you do. And I think, we in the media have to be able to put out good stories for people to be inspired, and you inspire me.
This is a love fest because Vicki Schneps is here. She's the founder, president, the boss at Schneps Media, one of the largest local media networks in the country. And she makes it happen in a big way. And I just want to know your story, Vicki. I think I already know it, but I want to hear it again. I want our viewers to hear it. It is such an important story to tell. In a time when local news is hurting and our viewers are hurting, local news is more important than ever before. Can you tell me a little bit about how this all started? Vicki, did it really start in your living room?
It really started in my living room, but it goes back to when my daughter Lara was born, because my daughter Lara was my most anticipated, because I was, trying to get pregnant for 5 years, and I finally got pregnant, and there she was. Lara was my jewel being born, but sadly, within hours of her birth, she turned blue in the nursery, and the doctors came and said, "Well, we revived her, but she's going to be fine." Well, little did we know that at that moment she suffered irreparable brain damage. And Lara was 3 months old developmentally all of her life. So that damage to those few seconds or minutes that she was blue were forever changed her life, but it also changed my life forever. And because of Lara, she gave me a whole different purpose. I wanted to be a school teacher since I had Mrs. Boroff in the second grade. And I got my master's degree in teaching, and I was going to be a teacher, and I was going to be married, and I had a husband who's a lawyer, and I was going to live in the suburbs with a white picket fence, and, right out of the book of Doris Day. But life is a great journey, and life's journey is such that you never know. It is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And if you don't realize that life has its ups and downs, as big as any big roller coaster, then you're in for a rude awakening. But for me, Lara's birth took me in a whole new direction. First, you look for a cure. Then you look, when my doctor told us she will always be a 3-month-old developmentally, which means she had to be fed, she had to be diapered, she had to be held. So we began then the search for help. And there was a place on Staten Island that had just had a big expose a few years before. And that was called Willowbrook. And they had just built an infant rehabilitation center. And it was offering, in fact, the only place in the 70s that offered physical therapy and occupational therapy. So with a lot of tears, but a lot of hope, we brought Lara to Willowbrook. And I lived in Bayside, and my friends who had healthy children came to me. And they said, "Look, Vicki, there but for the grace of God go I. How can I help you?" And so we sat down in my living room, and we said, let's create an organization of volunteers, and we'll go to Willowbrook, because I visit my daughter every week, and we'll volunteer, and we'll raise money for people living at Willowbrook. Well, 5,400 people live there. And my wonderful band of women used to go every single weekend. But within a year of Lara being there, the budget at Willowbrook, which was state funded, was slashed. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, my ladies and I became marchers and picketers, demanding the return of the funds. Yeah. And my husband was a lawyer, Murray Schneps, and he said, this place is never going to be any good. We've got to file a federal class action lawsuit. And a cub reporter by the name of Geraldo Rivera was snuck into Willowbrook.
We love Geraldo. He's on our network. We love Geraldo. He's right here on our network.
Well, he is to be loved. He is to be loved and admired, because Geraldo came to Willowbrook and told the story of what he saw in such a passionate way. And I'll never forget his words. He said, I could show you the pictures. I could let you hear the sounds, but how do I describe the smell? And that was Willowbrook then. And so we knew that this place had to be closed down. And the class action lawsuit we filed, in fact, we won. And in fact, Willowbrook was closed down. We won the lawsuit to open group homes in neighborhoods that are humane, that are warm, friendly homes like anybody else's home. And so that became the way that services were offered because of our lawsuit. And I got involved with a lot of the media during this war for Willowbrook. We called it the Willowbrook Wars.
It is a war. It sounds like a war. And you
Well,
won.
it still goes on.
Every day you're fighting, every day. But I feel like, is this the anniversary year? It's the anniversary year, right?
Well, it's the 50th anniversary of the Willowbrook consent decree. And that was the signing by actually, it was Governor Carey who signed the consent decree that changed forever how people with special needs were to be served.
Vicki, I have to say something. You are an amazing person and you're a powerhouse. But what I'm sensing is that it's the mom in you that powers you and that love for your children. And I've met all of your children. They're incredible people and human beings. Is that really what powers you, is being a mom?
Well, I think that being a mom is a kind of lifetime responsibility and passion. And I do believe that, my passion drives me, my passion for my children, my passion for my cause. And my cause showed me the power of the press. And I said, someday I'd like to be in the news business. And so I had the opportunity to meet a man who took a buyout from the Daily News, started a paper in Astoria. I lived in Bayside. And in Bayside, which had a lot of apartment buildings, it was very much like Forest Hills in Manhattan, had the opportunity, every rental building had the opportunity to go co-op. And most of the buildings took the opportunity and became co-op, which meant ownership of their apartments. And I believe that when you own your apartment or you own your home, you've got a vested interest in the neighborhood.
That's right.
Because it tends to be your biggest investment.
That's right.
So I said to John, everything in Bayside has gone co-op. I think we could start a newspaper here to reach the people in the community. And he said, do you think you can sell a few ads? So I went to my hairdresser. I went to my jeweler. I went to my real estate broker. I went to my mother, my father, my brother. And they all bought ads.
Look at that.
And we got started.
You did everything yourself. It looks like you were you were the whole team, it looks like. And that's
you can never do it alone, Monica. I have to stop you there because I believe and I know I could never have started that organization on my own. It were these wonderful women who saw something important and wanted to help. And when we had those Willowbrook War days, I must tell you, there was such an outpouring of care, concern by the general public. And I think that kind of pushes you up the hill when you feel you're at the bottom and you can't take another step up.
Yes.
And they kept that power of people caring. And this organization I started was originally the women's organization for retarded children. But, that nomenclature is no longer appropriate. Yes. So we changed our name to Life's Work. And it is my life's work. And now my media has something similar happen where, I met this man and I was not a journalist. I'm not a businesswoman. I'm a community advocate. Yes. And so, we started in my living room on the same sofa, Monica.
I love this story. 81, is that right? 81 publications. We're going to take
we're up to 101.
Excuse me, 101. I can't keep up. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Vicki, and I want to learn more about how you did it and how you spotlight other women. Not only are you, have a team of women working with you, but now you're highlighting all the women in our community that are doing good things. That's when we come back. We're back with Vicky Schneps, the president and founder of Schneps Media. So your empire has grown quite a bit.
Well, I started in my living room on the same sofa that I started my life's work. So I held on to that sofa for about 20 years. I didn't want to let it go because really it's grassroots beginnings of my newspaper as well. My first newspaper, now we're a media company where we have 101 media outlets. And last month, Monica, we had 9.9 million people on our websites.
Don't know what to say about that. I mean, it's incredible. It's because of the content. It's because of the people. I mean, you're always uplifting communities that matter the most and small business owners and women. Tell me, why is it so important to do this? You have these iconic events, which I've been able to go to and just be a part of. Why do you do this? Why is it so important to give these awards to these community champions?
Well, I think you'll appreciate the start of it was when I was in business in Queens, and I went to a Chamber of Commerce annual business awards dinner. It was at one of the biggest hotels in the county, and they had a dais that ran the entire length of the ballroom. And I was sitting in my seat at having dinner, and looking at this dais of people filled with men. There was not one woman getting an award for business.
I'm not surprised.
So I turned to my friend and I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own Power Women event.
I love
this. This is not going to be, and I'm not going to let this happen. And so we started as the top 10 women in Queens in business. And now, as I've acquired other media, we do the top women in Brooklyn, Manhattan, Long Island, Palm Beach. It has grown to the men came to me and said, what's wrong with us? Why don't you honor us? So I did. I started the Kings of Queens. You'll love this one. My first king was Mike Bloomberg.
No.
And it was the day he was announcing that he was going to go for a third term. So the ballroom was filled with media, and I gave the men crowns.
I love that. I did not know that. I love Mike Bloomberg. We love him and his philanthropy.
He's been a good friend. And so, but he turned to me, Monica, you'll appreciate this. And he says, don't you dare put that crown on my head. I'll be eviscerated. So, of course, I said, don't worry, I won't put the crown on your head.
I love that story. I love that.
But that launched my Kings of Queens. And then I started a Spanish language newspaper from scratch. And because I saw the growth of the Spanish community, and we did a Spanish honors. And then we did healthcare. And then we got Gay City News. We got Gay City News Impact. Then I own Caribbean Life, and we do Caribbean Impact Awards. So, it kind of grew, and I'm very blessed that now we do 50 events a year. And my daughter Elizabeth runs that division.
Well, Elizabeth could have her own show. I always said that. I know you have your own show. But it is a family affair. And I think that's the success of it. You feel like you're joining a family of success and all hearts. The Power Women of Manhattan event. Tell me about that. I mean, that is really the crown jewel, isn't it? It's just amazing, these women and what they're able to accomplish, and acknowledging
Monica,
them.
I'm doing this 30 years, and I never run out of women who have never been recognized for their great success.
Wow.
I am always shocked when women come over me and say, thank you so much. This meant so much to my family to hear my accomplishments. This meant so much to my husband that I was recognized. This has had impact far beyond what I could have dreamt when I started the Power Women. And I think it's important to stop, pay tribute to women who, with all due respect, juggle more balls than any other humankind.
Did she just say that? She did.
Family, business, husband.
I could have said it better myself. I think you're right. And it's true. They do so much. And it's so wonderful, that moment. I can't describe it, when they walk and they dance and they have that moment to shine. And it's all thanks to Schneps Media, and Vicky Schneps herself is usually there.
I've got to put this in, Monica, because you'll get a kick out of this. So when we had to give an award, I decided that in Hollywood, they give you an Oscar. And in Broadway, you get a Tony. So I said, well, you know what? Let's give them a statue, but let's call it a Vicky.
I love that.
So
it's
we're
called the
going to
Vicky.
give out Vickies we give out Vicky awards, their statues to every
Oh.
one of the women and men that we honor. And, with different events, we call them the power list. We let the men come in on the power list
Well,
for them.
everybody wants to get a Vicky. Okay. So when we come back, we're going to talk more about Vicky and the Vickies and what it takes to be a champion and to be on this list. That's when we come back. And we're back with Vicky Schneps, the founder, the boss, the incredible philanthropist. Vicky Schneps is here. Vicky, tell me, this is the speed round. I like to just get these questions out because I want to know, what does it take to be a champion? What does it take to get a Vicky?
First, you have to be perseverant. Nobody is successful without being persistent and being focused. And we have many women who get nominated by their peers, by their companies, by the community. And each of the women chosen has great accomplishments and most of them have never been recognized before. So it gives me great joy when they walk that red carpet with the music that's been curated just for them and they receive their Vicky, the smiles, and then we have the families come up for a photo, are one just a kind of justification for all the hard work that goes into putting those events on. And trust me, there's a whole team that makes that happen. So we have 7 people led by my daughter Elizabeth that run those events.
Elizabeth's incredible. And your son's incredible too, though. He does a lot.
Well, my son is my CEO.
Well,
my son was in investment banking, and one night he called me and he said, "Mom, if I'm going to work 24/7, can I come work for you?"
Oh.
And that was the best yes I ever had. But I had to take a pay cut because he was making so much money that I wasn't making as much money as he was.
I love that.
But it was a worthwhile investment because he's a brilliant leader. He's a very caring person. And with all due respect to our secret to success, we're 24/7 people.
Yes.
Do I have to tell you, Monica, how it just takes a lot of hard work to be able to be successful? Yes. It doesn't just happen.
That's right. You do. You work 24/7. Don't I know it? My husband wishes I could turn it off on the weekends a little bit. But can you tell me a little bit about the future of Schneps Media? I'm so focused on, where do you see the next 10 years for Schneps Media?
So I must share with you that I wear a frog pin. And the reason I do is because a frog is the only species on Earth that cannot turn its head to the left, cannot turn its head to the right, cannot look back. A frog can only look forward. And I think for us in business, we're always looking forward. And opportunities come to us. So to predict the future is almost like, what if you buy yourself one of those globes and you try to predict the future, nobody knows what the future will bear. But our mission is very clear. We're all about you. And our media is all about you, whether it be you in Palm Beach or you in the Hamptons or you in New York City or you in Long Island. And if you stay true to who we are, and we are community journalists, and we just take that to different levels so that we're able to reach people and they know it's about them. So when I started my Spanish paper from scratch, it was because the growth of the Spanish community. I have in my eye, maybe next year, to start a Chinese community newspaper because the Chinese community is growing so rapidly. Are you
breaking that news now? I think you're breaking that news now. I did not know that. And that's such a fabulous idea. What a fabulous idea.
I don't want anyone to steal it.
Okay. I hear you. Trust me, I hear you. I know it moves fast and but no one can do what you do. See, that's what I'm confident in. No one can steal your ideas because no one is Vicky Schneps. And Vicky, thank you so much. One more thing. Who would you want on our next podcast? Who would you like to hear from? Who deserves to be on our next podcast?
Well, I'm very committed to adoring, loving our city. And I think that we have to get to know this mayor. And Julie Menon is going to be the next speaker of the city council. And I think Julie would be a great person to have on your
Oh, I
program
love Julie.
because I
Yeah.
think, well, she comes to the position having been involved in government for over 20 years in leadership positions. She knows where all the needs are and she knows and understands how government works. And being her visionary leader that I believe she will be is going to be a great counterbalance to our worries about our mayor, who is 35 years old or younger and has never been in city government. So I think it's
Yeah.
going to be an exciting, positive time for the city.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all of these events that I can't tell you how exciting those moments are when you honor these women. You have to be there to understand, right, Vicki? So hopefully all of our audience will Google it, look into it. And if they want more information, how do they get more information about you?
Schnepsmedia.com.
So easy. And they're going to do that right now. We love you, Vicki. Thank you for being on the show.
Love you. Thank you.
I love you back.
See you.
I'll see you on the
Wonderful
stage.
talking
I'll
to
see you on
you.
the stage. And
See you on the stage.
Vicki's story. Bye. Vicki's story reminds us, right, that one person with passion, purpose, and heart can change the world, can change her community. And well, she built an empire, but she's really building it one story, one person at a time. And that's what we do here at the Monica Makes It Happen show. Thank you for always watching. Thank you again, Ponce Bank, for always supporting these stories. And let's keep fighting for our communities. Let's keep fighting for our families. And it really is moms that make it happen. Don't forget to watch our December show where it is moms, all about moms and giving. I'm Monica Morales, and let's keep making it happen together. See you next time.